All right. So now that we're familiar enough with the law of supply and we're going to get some practice with it, we're going to look at with supply, there are production costs. So before you can get to that profit, there's stuff you have to pay. And so we call some of the costs operating costs. So that's everything that it costs to operate, like your factory or to produce whatever it is you're going to produce. There are some costs, whenever you see the word fixed, that means like set, like they're costs that you're going to always have, that they don't necessarily change, or if they change a little bit, at least you can, like, it's pretty easy to budget. So like if you don't own your building, so you're paying like rent on it, or maybe you do own it but you have a mortgage, so you have like a monthly payment toward your loan you have to make, that's a fixed cost. If you have interest on loans, if you're locked in that you're always going to have that interest, or you're always going to have your insurance that you have to pay, or your property taxes that you might have to pay. Something else that is a fixed cost is a salary. A salary, people that are salary employees, like they're getting paid roughly like the same no matter what. So whether they're working like 9 to 5, or maybe they have to come in and work on a weekend, but they know like maybe they get their paycheck every 2 weeks, like this is what the paycheck is going to be. So that's a salary employee, which is a fixed cost. And then when you add all those up, those are your overhead costs. Then you have variable costs. So those are costs that can change based on how much you're supplying or you're producing. So like let's say you have to order in a whole bunch of materials like to make masks for COVID-19, and so you have to order in all this material, and then you have to hire a whole bunch of more workers that are getting paid a wage. Those are variable costs. So like a wage is maybe you're getting paid by the hour, or maybe for every like 20 masks you make. Well, the longer you work or the harder you work, the more I'm going to be paying you. So it could fluctuate. Maybe one week you put in 60 hours making, $15 an hour. Another week you put in $10 hours, or for however many masks you do. Fuel can be a variable cost because, as you know, like gas prices can fluctuate, and maybe we're sending out more shipments this week versus we don't have another shipment for another month. So shipping is also something else. If you have people that are working on commission, so like think of like a car salesman or salesperson, where maybe they made like 7 sales this week. It was a huge week for them. And so they're getting this cut of the profit. That's a variable cost. And then when you add those up, your fixed and your variable cost, that's your total cost. And then sometimes you have to decide, like, what's my marginal cost? What does it cost me to make one more? So like let's say you're ordering like junior class t-shirts, and you guys get a price $10 a t-shirt, and everyone but one kid orders, and then you're all wearing the t-shirts, and that kid's like, oh man, I really wanted one, so they call the company to order one. Well, the company's not going to give that kid the t-shirt for $10, because the cost for them to, make that design, get it on the screen, order in that color, that style of t-shirt, ship it out, is going to be a lot more expensive. And so we call that marginal cost. I'm going to have a video clip that I want you guys to watch when looking at costs. It's from Seinfeld. It's funny, so you can laugh about it. If you don't totally get like the whole storyline, that's okay. I think you're going to get the gist of why Kramer and Newman can recycle pop bottles, make money when they start to cut out some of the costs. So please watch and enjoy.